Tabletop role-playing news. We aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG.
Hello, and welcome to Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. I am Russ, aka Morrus, or Morrus, aka Russ, and with me this week is
PJ Copy from the Southampton Guild of Role Players and Homebrew and Hacking TTRPG Design. I am, as ever, delighted to be here, but alas, a cloud has passed over the face of the very sun itself, and I am left bereft, I tell you, because whilst you have the excellent quality of your fine Labrador to keep you company, I do not have my emotional support, Jessica Hancock.
No, Jess is doing one of those live action role-playing games, apparently.
I hope she
She's away for the weekend.
Friends. Yes.
I am sure she will. She was a little poorly. I was quite poorly this week, and she was poorly this week as well. Totally unconnected because I haven't been in the same physical proximity as her for quite a while. But
very the same air. I understand.
Yes, yeah. She was quite poorly, but apparently she was better and well enough to go and do her live action role playing game. So a LARP, as the kids like to call it, a LARP.
Ah, yes. I remember those.
Yes. So we'll have to struggle on without her. We've got some news. We've got some news.
This, yes.
Well, do you know who this chap is?
No. Who's that?
No. I didn't think he would, but, there was a chance you might. That is Shawn Levy. And Shawn Levy works at Netflix. He's producing a television show for Netflix called The Forgotten Realms.
Right.
Which we did talk about at the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or earlier this year. But there weren't any details still aren't. But there weren't any details at the time. But he did provide a slight update because...
spoilers!
Well, he's also he was doing like the old press junkets for Stranger Things season 5, which is coming out very soon, and he was asked about the D&D show Forgotten Realms, and he said that the problem, I mean, it's still happening, it is still going on, but the problem they're having is it's challenging because what they're not adapting is what D&D isn't is a story. It's a world, kind of, and a rule set for creating stories. So what they are having to do is create a story from scratch, rather than... I mean, everyone goes, well, there's lots of D&D novels, there's lots of D&D adventures, you could just use those as the story, and that's a fair enough observation, I guess.
They could adapt the Tomb of Horrors.
For example, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that would make for a great story, but I don't know.
Okay, hear me out. Right?
It's not well known for its deep characterization and plot twists.
Look, instead of Ninja Warrior, instead you get a bunch of athletes and you run them through a version. You spend a couple of million short on like the accessories and so forth, but you send them. But basically, people will try and speed run the Tomb of Horrors and try and make it through the various traps and so forth set up.
But it's like Squid Game, and the traps are real.
No, that seems a little grim. Like,
seems a little far, a little too far.
I prefer that to people who've done like late stage capitalism and like been terminally poisoned by such things. Whereas I'm like, no, just have them fall into like a big old pile of gunk or something like that. You know, like a gunk tank with what's his face, like Funhouse, Pat Sharp. There you go.
Possibly. Yes, all right, fair enough.
Or the Crystal Maze. Think about it. It's like, you use your wits to solve the puzzles. And if you don't, then you get gunk on you.
The Crystal Maze, as I recall, and it's been so long since I've seen it. It was basically a series of escape rooms, wasn't it?
Yes,
different themes. Yes. There'd be like an industrial one, then a fantasy one, or I can't remember what they were.
Medieval, futuristic, Aztec. That was pretty cool. And I think that was always I mean, great stuff. There was actually, well, there may still be a live version in London, which you can go and play.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
But it's true. I've been there. I've got the crystal to prove it as well.
I went to a War of the Worlds escape room in London a few years ago. It was big. Like most escape rooms are quite small. It was that and escape room. So basically, you'd have an interactive experience, and you move to the next room, and it'd be an escape room. Then you move to the next one, and there'd be an interactive experience.
Wow!
And then, so it was like a mixture of the two. It took you sort of like it was like 3 and a bit hours long. It was quite. You were there for quite a while.
Amazing. That sounds.
It was very cool. It was very cool. And some of it was in VR as well, which didn't work so well because this was kind of the early days of VR, and it was a bit glitchy. So some of that wasn't so good. Yeah. But anyway, going back to D&D, we have gone way off topic. Going back
this guy here. Yes. Oh, because we were talking about adapting the Tomb of Annihilation has a potential storyline for D&D show, because despite having over must be the best part of 1,000 novels out there, there's nothing worth adapting, is the official take. Is that right?
I mean, that's not the words he used, but I guess that is the position they hold, because they are developing an original storyline. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that is what they are doing. So, whether or not it will actually go forward, when asked if the Forgotten Realms series would move forward, he replied, "I really hope so. I really, really hope so." So it doesn't like it's in the can. It's not definite. It doesn't sound like
there's a lot of potential frictions, because Hasbro will want their IP to look good, but a lot of the things that people associate, because they're caught in an interesting position, because the audience for this show, right, is presumably going to be adults, right? Like us, because we're the big nerds that watch it.
It might be a kids show. I don't know.
Well, potentially, but if they do aim at a kids show, then it's going to get a lot of flack from the adult nerds who are like, "Oh, why don't you do like a show for us?" Despite fundamentally getting the role-playing game is a hobby that does include, and rightly, children, not like maybe 5 or 6 year olds,
indeed,
but 12-year-olds.
Historically, that is the age at which people got into the game. That is the odd thing is when you see these sort of 50-year-olds complaining that D&D is like targeted at teenagers, then you ask them, What age were you when you started playing D&D? You keep on going on about how you started playing D&D in 1974. How old were you in 1974? You were not 50. So, but, that seems to elude them. That little factoid seems to escape them. But anyway.
A lot of the stuff that they've been bringing out in their books, the artwork has been changed to reflect a cuter aesthetic. I don't think that's a bad thing because, I don't have a problem with cute-looking things. It might not suit the atmosphere of the games I want to run, but, not everything's for me, And I'm unlikely to run a game of 2024 D&D unless paid. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm unlikely to run a game of D&D 24, so I don't care. Maybe.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, that's the news. Anyway, that is the news. So, new D&D show, hopefully still coming from Netflix. The trouble they're having is they don't have a story to adapt, just a world, and it's called The Forgotten Realms. That's it, really.
They got the concept of a plan. We'd like to do The Forgotten Realms has a family friendly gritty drama.
It does worry me slightly if it was towards the beginning of this year that they announced it, and if they're still at the point where I hope it goes ahead, but we're having a bit of a trouble thinking of a storyline. It sounds like nothing's happened in between then and now.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think it's thinking of a storyline. It's thinking of a storyline that will hit all the various non-stated goals that they all have, which is attract viewers, get people watching. Put it this way: do you expect HBO style casual nudity in this D&D show, or do you think that would cause? Yeah, I think it would cause the internet to melt down, which I would find hilarious. Would it have violence? Would it have blood? Presumably, there's going to be some dungeons, mild peril. Is it going to be comedy?
My guess is it'll be
really
similar in tone.
It'll
be similar in tone to the D&D film, the recent D&D film, I think. That is my expectation. But who knows? That is mere conjecture.
That would be, for us personally, because we both liked On the Wrong Face, that would be a really great outcome. Is it going to be what Netflix can afford to do? Is it going to be
Netflix can afford to do anything they want. Netflix has a lot of money.
Yeah, obviously they can afford it, but are they going to spend the money on it? That's a different question. We can all afford a lot of things, or some of us can afford a lot of things, probably you, but not me. I can't afford nothing lately. But there's a difference between being able to pay the money for it and wanting to pay the money for it. So it depends on how much of a priority it is. So I think it would be great. I think it could be really great, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. We can but hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly, this is very much a tangent. The showrunners, or not showrunners because it was a film, the creative team behind the D&D movie are the people that have been tapped to make the new Star Trek movie. They're rebooting Star Trek in movie form. And the people who made two people whose names completely escape me, but they will be making the new Star Trek movie. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that sounds cool.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Eberron. Eberron. Forge of the Artificer, however you wish to say it.
I told you before, it's Artificer.
Artificer. Yes. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So that's coming out later this year.
Yes.
Possibly in hardcover format a bit later for us in Europe and Asia. Because all of the books seem to be getting delayed. All of the official D&D books seem to be getting delayed at the moment for various logistical reasons. If you're in the US, presumably in November as planned, that will be coming out. That's soon, isn't it? That's soon. Or was it December? It was December, actually. Mid-December. But I don't think here in Europe and the UK will get it that soon. But anyway, there's an article up. Yeah, there's an article up on D&D Beyond called "What's New with the Artificer." Artificer? How did we say it again? I've forgotten now already.
Artificer.
Artificer. Yes, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I got a memory like a goldfish. I can't remember things for less than a minute.
Don't worry about it.
And I'm not going to go through this article too much because it's a lot easier to go and read it rather than listen to me read it. And it's not interesting enough. So basically, it's a list of changes with the class. And most of them are small mechanical changes. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. But I will put a link in the show notes so you can pop over and have a look. But there's quite a number of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 changes. There are 12 changes. Some of them are new features. Some of them are just mild, tiny tweaks to features and things like that. Like the replicate magic item feature replaces the old infuse item feature and things like that.
Okay.
But it's basically the whole publicity machine.
The same class.
Yeah, but the publicity machine for that particular book is starting to rev up. So over the coming weeks, I expect we'll be just hearing lots and lots and lots of Eberron-based news. Which is fine. I mean, I've never played an Eberron. You've played an Eberron, haven't you?
How much are they charging for it?
That's an excellent question. I'm really glad you asked. What an excellent question you asked. Thank you. Thank you.
As is traditional.
Thank you for asking that question. I just want to spend some time dwelling on how good the question is. December the 9th. I don't know.
So
I do not know. I'm sorry.
Stalling for time. Yeah, because I think it was like $20 or something like that on D&D Beyond, which was a fair chunk of change because there's not that much to it. So yeah,
I think it's a full-sized hardcover, isn't it? It's not a small book.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
I think so.
I think
so.
I'm just wondering what they're putting in it then, to be honest.
I there was
find out more about it.
Page count. Oh no, it's 112 pages, so it's not a big hardcover. It's a smaller hardcover. I lied, and it's $29.99. There we go. I do know this information. I was only pretending not to know. I do, in fact, know that it's $29.99 and it's 112 pages.
Ooh.
There we go, and it includes the revised class. Pages. Yeah, well, I've got some a little
class, yeah.
table about page counts and prices in a minute, which you'll find interesting. But we'll get onto that in a sec. So this includes the revised how did we say it again? I've forgotten again. Artificer. The class, anyway. The revised class. 5 subclasses. 5 revised species. A new spell, new bastion options, and magical inventions. 3 campaign frameworks and 20 plus new monsters.
Nice.
So quite a lot of player-facing stuff there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit then. Okay, but yeah, we'll find out more about it as time passes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's going to be tons and tons and tons of previews and stuff coming out over the next few weeks, for sure. But that's not the only D&D release coming up. There's one that, I say coming up. Ooh. Lorwyn First Light has been released on D&D Beyond.
It's quite interesting, that cover, because it's got sort of like an elf/fae reading a book.
Yes, it's a very fae-themed setting.
Right, so then that I would infer from that it's like the fairy is on the left-hand side as we're facing it on the cover for all the light and cute stuff, and it's what they call it, the Darklands.
So the Magic the Gathering plane is called Lorwyn Shadowmoor.
Right, okay.
And what happens is it switches between its night and day aspects every 300 years.
Oh, okay.
And it's all very fae themed, so much so that there aren't even humans in it. or at least not
Okay.
naturally occurring humans. I think humans can visit it, but there's no naturally occurring humans in this setting. It's all Fey species.
Oops, okay. Understood.
Yeah, so this is a digital-only release.
Okay.
It's $14.99. It includes the Lorwyn Changeling, which differs from the Eberron Changeling, apparently. I haven't bought this, so I can't tell you exactly how, but it differs from the Eberron Changeling. The Rhymekin, R-I-M-E kin, which is a sort of ice
Frost.
person species. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two new elven lineages, the Lorwyn Elf and the Shadowmoor Elf.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we've got some feats like Shadowmoor Hexer and Child of the Sun.
Yeah.
So that is $14.99 on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting is that's the third digital-only product that's come out on D&D Beyond in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We had Astarion's Book of Hungers.
Yes.
We had the Fall of Netheril.
Yes, yeah.
We've got this.
Lorwyn First Light.
And we've got 2 more downloadable contents from Forgotten Realms which haven't come out yet.
Oh.
So that'll be 5 in the space of about a month. Which I find interesting. Very interesting. And these aren't PDFs either. These are only accessible on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
So I think, people talk about where...
It's probably best not to think about buying these. It's probably best to think of them as like a medium to long-term rental. Because Wizards is not good at keeping stuff online.
It's also all about this sort of movement to a digital first. It won't be digital only anytime in the foreseeable future, but a digital first walled garden setup. It's just getting more and more like that every month.
I mean, you got to be careful, Russ, about saying that sort of thing, because you'll upset immense numbers of Ian World readers because they find that sort of talk very threatening, even when the writing is very clearly on the wall. Because I think we've been talking about that on this podcast as pretty much an obvious way for Wizards to go for a couple of years now. Yeah,
I think it's fairly obvious that's where it's going. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, it won't go digital only.
No.
The books will always be there.
Yeah,
but they're getting 50% of their revenue from digital now. 50%. That's a big old chunk. And bear in mind, that's the 50% of their revenue, which has much lower costs than the physical books. So presumably more than 50% of their profit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no physical object to faff about with logistics.
There's no stock.
Game shop take their cut. Yeah. There's no stock to deal with. It's like, I mean, if you're prepared to stick with digital only, then yeah. I can see it. It's just like, what do customers want?
Customers are lapping this stuff up in droves. Clearly, I mean,
I mean, I think
it's not my preference, but
maybe it's a generational thing. Like the younger generations don't really have the idea of things that they can own because they're disenfranchised.
Well, I think for me, as you can see from the shelves behind me. Yeah, but as you can see from the shelves behind me, I just love books just as artifacts, just as a collection. I like owning and being surrounded, like on 3 walls here, surrounded by books. And that is something that I find, comforting, I guess, in a way. It's just an environment that I like.
I mean, I'm looking behind me. I have my own hoard, has a fellow book dragon. So, literally piled up on the floor. It's becoming a point of contention. So,
well, mine were until recently, but they've all been sorted now.
Yeah, yes.
But anyway, I mentioned page counts and prices.
Yes.
Now, this little table was made by Echo Hawk on EN World. looking at the cost per page, apart from the little line that I snuck in at the bottom there, just because I thought it was funny. As you can see, like the Heroes of Faerun and Adventures in Faerun were sort of like 6 to 7 pages per $1.
Wow.
Ish. Then you get onto these digital things, and it drops down to 1.5 to 2.5 pages per $1. So the price, the pages per $1, the price per page basically is much higher on these small digital things. And we did say last week that Christian Hoffer's first impressions reviews of things like Astarian's Book of Hungers was, it's fine, but it's quite flimsy for the $15 price.
Yeah.
You'd rather have had sort of like $8 or something for that, for what was in there.
Because to put those word counts into perspective, so for our listeners who are not able to see this table, you got like about 11,000, 14,000, 18,500, nearly 93,000. And for Adventures in Faerun, a whopping 140,000 words. A Adventurers League module, which is about between 3 and 8 hours of content, depending upon how you run it. Yeah. That is about 10,000 words. So Astarian's Book of Hungers is only slightly longer than on paper, a 2 to 4 hour adventure.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we sell, when you look at things like Insider Magazine and stuff, that is one chunky article, Astarian's Book of Hungers. If we put an adventure in Insider Magazine, that's about the size of an adventure. I think it's actually less. I think our adventures are 15,000 words. So, and we'll charge like $2 for that.
Wow.
And they're charging $15 for less.
Right. Well, I mean, the price is what people pay for it.
Yeah,
basically.
I guess. But then again, you look at our own, Ian Publishing's Level Up Adventurers Guide there. 656 pages for $24.99 in PDF format, because these are all, we're looking at the digitals here, not the physicals. These are all digitals. So compared to the 1.5 pages per $1 that you'll get in Astarian's Book of Hungers, or the 2 pages per $1 in Lorwyn First Light, Level Up Adventurers Guide, 26 pages per $1. I mean, the value for money there is just, I don't know. I mean, by those prices, we should be charging like $200 for Level Up Adventurer's Guide instead of $24. But hey ho. Also, you appear to have frozen, Peter. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'll continue talking. Hopefully you'll reappear.
Woof. Got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Right. Next on the menu, Ed Greenwood. Ed Greenwood created the Forgotten Realms, and he is going to be publishing 4 new Forgotten Realms books, source books, in 2026. So these are the 4 source books: Guide to the Dalelands, Insights of the Dalelands, Delves of the Dalelands, and Adventures in the Dalelands. And these are going to be published, there's a official site for it over at Mythmakers. And these 4 books will be published on the Dungeon Masters Guild. And each of these source books, as you can see, is fleshing out the Dalelands region, which, to be fair, I think a lot of people sort of do say that Dalelands is very, very much already fleshed out. And I'm not a big Forgotten Realms fan myself, but I would agree with that. It's, if you're going to pick a region, I'm not 100% sure that's the region that needs it, but that is the region that's being fleshed out here with these books. So the Guide to the Dalelands is a regional source book for DMs and players. Insights of the Dalelands, well, I think you can guess what that is. It's geared towards social encounters. And it's not just inns, it also has NPCs, mini games, festivals, and tournaments and things like that. which sounds a really useful book
Do you
to
think
use
it's meant
anywhere, to be honest.
Do you think it's meant to be like a pun? Well, insights of the Dalelands, like as it's written, it's places where they have pubs, and insights as in like truths about the Dalelands, which come forth. I don't know. We'd have to have a look at it, really.
Maybe.
It's just like a weird way to phrase it, you know.
It is. You'd say inns of the Dalelands, wouldn't you? You wouldn't say insights.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I suppose if you're listening to this on the podcast and you can't see the screen, you probably, when I said that and I said insights of the Dalelands, I bet you thought I said INSIGHTS of the Dalelands, not INN space SITES. So to be clear to those listening on audio only, it's in space sites of the Dalelands. But I think that looks like a book that can be plugged into any setting. That looks really useful. Just inns, NPCs, mini games, festivals, tournaments and stuff. That looks like a generally useful book.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
It's got something to it.
Yeah, we got Delves of the Dalelands, which is a bunch of dangerous locations, basically plug-in dungeons, I guess. There's a million of those out there. I don't know. I find the inn sites of the Dalelands more interesting because I think like plug-in dungeons are, monster books and mini dungeons. There's a lot of those available. And finally, Adventures in the Dalelands. Oh yeah. And then we've got Adventures in the Dalelands, which is an anthology of adventures for levels 1 to 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So these are going to be quarterly in that order. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4 in the order they're shown in there on the screen there. So 4 of them across 2026, penned by Ed Greenwood, the creator of the Forgotten Realms. Should be fun. I don't know how rules heavy they'll be. Whether there'll be more just prose describing the realms, whether there'll be lots of rules, I couldn't tell you. Lots of player facing content, I couldn't tell you. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to please everyone. Like, I would expect there to be a mix of some player facing content in each of them, because that's what drives sales. Because like there's like about one DM to every 3 to 8 players, right? So players will often want to pick up the stuff with information relevant to them, and rightly so. So I'd expect Adventures in the Dalelands. Maybe they've got something shoehorned in there, maybe they don't. But what I'm quite disappointed about is the lack of like high level support. Like, this game has 20 levels in, and there's one book and one adventure pathway which gets past level 13. So yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, but that's been a long-standing thing with 5e generally, isn't it? It's I don't think you can point the finger specifically at these books about that. It's just a general thing. I mean, is it like the cart before the horse? Is it, is there no high-level adventure support because people don't play high-level adventures, or do people not play high-level adventures because there's no high-level support? It's hard to say.
Well, I know that people do run high-level adventures. I know that people talk about it, and it's one of those most frequently asked questions. How do I do it? How do I run it? Yeah, it's hard to do, but that's why we have game designers.
But what I can tell you from a commercial point of view, having been selling D&D content for 26 odd years, high-level adventures are hard to sell. They don't sell.
Really?
The low-level adventures sell, I mean, by an order of magnitude. Like adventures in the sort of 1 to 5 region will sell 10 times as many as one in the 17 to 20 region.
Oh. Right.
So the incentive to actually produce these adventures isn't there, because even when you do produce them, people don't buy them. Not en masse, anyway.
Wow.
Not in large numbers.
No. Wow. I mean,
the problem's even worse with adventure paths. Yeah. Well, that's standalone. The problem's even worse with adventure paths, because adventure paths if you're going from 1 to 20, for someone to buy those levels sort of 18, 19, 20 adventures, they have to have gone through the number of people that start a 1 to 20 adventure path, get all the way to the end and buy the level 20 adventure is vanishingly small. It's like less than 1% of the people that bought the first one. Less than one in 1,000, maybe. So that's the behind the scenes kind of commercial side of it. They're hard to sell, really hard to sell.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you are looking at like probably at that point about 1.5, 2 years of play, assuming you can be consistent for that length of time. That's a long time to keep a group together.
Yeah. Low level adventures are where the money is, unfortunately. So that's what gets
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a little slightly depressing note. Yeah, it would be nice if there really was a market for high level adventures. It just isn't there. Right. You've frozen again. And it's your news topic next. Something called Storygoblin, and I don't know what that is.
It's a mark for tools. Anyway, right. Yes, moving on.
Here we go. So, Storygoblin.
It's my news topic. Oh, yeah, it's a cute little web app that I got online. Basically, the idea is that if everyone can hear me,
You've frozen again, Peter. I'm going to move on to one of my news topics. I don't know if you can sort out your
the podcast having a bit of connection issues, but what we've got is we've got a cute little app which lets players all pick up when they're playing online. Storygoblin will essentially take all the chats and the various bits and pieces that go into your session, your online session, and it will compile them into like a text dump and let you extract the information from it to.
Okay, and we've lost Peter again. Okay, so let's moving on. The Mighty Nein. This is an interesting news story because the Mighty Nein was available. This is interesting. So you can't watch this, but Mighty Nein was available on YouTube until November the 16th. It was the first episode in the new Critical Role TV show, which is going to be showing, I believe, on Prime Video. So they put the first episode on YouTube for about a week last week. Unfortunately, you can't go and watch it now because it's no longer there. But if you did catch it, I did not. If you did catch it, you could have watched the entire first episode. From what people are saying, it is less action comedy than the Legends of Vox Machina. It's a little more character driven. I haven't seen it myself, but it is going to be. I think it's probably this week. It's hitting Prime. So if you want to go and catch up with that, you can't watch it on YouTube anymore. The video has been removed as of November the 16th, but you can go and watch the first episode. The first few episodes of the new show apparently serve as a prequel to the events of Campaign 2 of Critical Role, or The Mighty Nein, providing some sort of origin stories and what the characters are up to ahead of that campaign.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out on Prime Video, or Amazon Prime, or Amazon Video, or whatever the hell it is they call themselves these days, because it seems to change constantly.
Well, it's Amazon Prime, but they started putting ads in, so because they wanted to charge me best part of £100 to watch ads, so I was like, no.
Every single one of them's done that now, pretty much. I think only Apple hasn't. Or Netflix, I think it was Netflix. I can't remember if Netflix has or not, but only Apple hasn't. In the chat, Rai Alboa says the first 3 episodes of The Mighty Nein is streaming now on Amazon. So there we go. You can go and watch the first 3 now.
Yeah.
So this one might interest you. How to Dungeon Master Parenting, a guidebook by Shelley Mazanoble.
Interesting. For
described
gamifying
equal
the
parts.
child-rearing quest, leveling up your skills and raising future adventurers. All right.
Yeah, equal parts
Tell me more.
funny and practical. This is like a core rule book for raising kids. Yes, so this is Shelley Mazanoble. How to Dungeon Master Parenting, a guidebook for gamifying the child rearing quest, leveling up your skills, and raising future adventures. It's basically humor, comedy, and advice. She covers a wide range of topics, so the starting equipment you need, putting together your adventuring team, which is sort of, the support you need around you for this quest that you're that you're going on, I guess. Your DMing style is kind of like your parenting style. How to gently and discreetly steer kids towards better decisions. Whether you're parenting at first level or a parent with a few years under your belt, there's different useful information in there. Sample ability score checks for common encounters. Things like trying to hold a cranky baby, take their temperature, open a bottle of baby medicine with one hand, that sort of thing.
Tricky skills.
Yeah. So it's a bit of fun. With some useful advice in there. Definitely, as Rise says in the chat, definitely a Christmas list item. Yeah. Buy that for any parents that you know that are also basically D&D players.
And perhaps they'll even have time to read it.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Maybe we should get the audiobook or something. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That could be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, should we go back to your news items there before you got cut off? So the first one was this Storygoblin thing. If you could tell us what that is.
Oh, yes. Apologies for listeners who I'm going to repeat myself slightly for. Hopefully this will upload, but perhaps it didn't. Who knows? Essentially, Storygoblin is for online games. It's a free app, storygoblin.com, and it takes the chat and all the messages and so forth that's been sent and amalgamates it into a big text dump, which all the players have access to. And then you can use that to create a recap so that everyone's on the same page. So if someone's taking lots of notes and someone, has taken very little, then it's a good way to help catch them up if they don't remember.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, I say it's just like a little thing, but I thought it was, a nice novelty for people doing online games.
Sure. And the other thing, this is fun.
Oh, yeah. I saw that and I thought, well, as soon as I saw this, I thought Russ is going to want to get in on this because, like, this.
Have you seen the price of it? Maybe not. But tell us, what is this?
What we are looking at, general listeners, is a relatively old-fashioned writing desk, nice and wooden and so forth. It's got like various little pigeonholes for stationery, a couple of drawers. But this one is quite special because this writing desk it used to belong to J.R.R. Tolkien. It's now going to go up for auction at, I believe, Christie's. Which is an auction house in the UK, and they estimate it will make between £50,000 and £80,000, which is the thick end of about $100,000. Yeah, more or less, depending. So exciting times.
Yeah, so this is a late 19th century Merton College desk. And it's part of Christie's is doing this Groundbreakers Icons of Our Time auction. So this isn't the only thing that's on there. They've got lots of interesting things on there. They've got things like 1932 annotated draft of the London Underground, for example. The first edition of Alan Turing's On Computable Numbers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. And also, perhaps for gamers, the original art for the first edition of Warhammer.
Nice.
Which I think is, bear with me 1 second, if I'm not mistaken,
Russ has gone
is this?
Grabbed it off his bookshelf.
Yeah. That's the box set.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's the art they're talking about, but the actual original piece of art. How cool
Yeah.
is that? I don't know how much that will go for. Not as much as Tolkien's desk. It's interesting looking at the 3 black and white books inside there. And this is the first tabletop game I ever owned. This is
Yes.
before I had D&D. It was this game that, and it's got Volume 1, Tabletop Battles, Volume 2, Magic, Volume 3, Characters. And this is the very first ever tabletop game. My dad bought it for me when I started secondary school, so I'd have been 11, I guess. And I took it to school, and we opened it up and tried it out at lunchtime at school, and that started my and then someone brought in D&D. So Nick Hartley, I think his name was, brought in D&D like a few months later and said, let's try this one. And then we tried D&D. And that was a role-playing game. But the way we'd been playing Warhammer was as a role-playing game, almost by mistake.
I mean, it's got characters right there. So, yeah. And obviously, if you have never seen any of it, so you don't know it's supposed to be an army's war game, it's like...
Yeah.
I mean that's how chainmail to D&D is like a well-known story. So,
Yeah. So I guess I have my dad to thank for my career. For my hobby, not just my hobby, but my actual career.
Well, good job, Russ is died.
Yeah, and I imagine that was just a random gamble. Try buying this for his birthday type affair. There's no way anyone could have known that it would grab me the way it did.
I mean, it was clearly, it's got like some sort of fancy stuff on the front. Russell probably like that, and that has proven to be fair a fairly reliable guide ever since, judging by your bookshelves.
Yeah, but I didn't have all those books then, did I? I mean,
oh no, but like but you presumably had some sort of interest in Robin Hood and so forth, and I don't know, running around the New Forest and so forth.
Lord of the Rings, yeah, I guess, yeah. Back then, there wasn't much else. Lord of the Rings was the big fantasy book. There wasn't Dragonlance. There wasn't Song of Ice and Fire. There wasn't, none of that stuff existed.
Yeah, so like he's got you Lord of the Rings, got you Silmarillion, got you Hobbit, got you Wizard of Brisingmain, Moon of Gomrath, Wizard of Earthsea. What do we get? Oh, look, this will do. Try that. Yeah. And there you go. It stuck. So good job. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The final piece of news we've got this week is another one from you. October 2025 TTRPG crowdfunding retrospective, which you put up there.
Yes. This is a fairly data-intensive blog post, which is, as we know, always amazing for podcast listeners and so forth. But
I don't have an image because it's basically just a page of text. But I'll put a link in the show notes.
I mean, but I'm taking a punt here that the sort of person who's listening to a TTRPG podcast might be a bit of a nerd, and we love you for it, and we appreciate your support because we are also, as you know, giant nerds, and we do love some numbers. I especially love some numbers, and this one is ttrpg-spider.blogspot.com. They were having a look at Backer Kit, Game Found, and Kickstarter to get the raw data. 100, and they're specifically focused on TTRPGs, of which there were 181, 65 distinct systems, 24 original.
Of those 181, nearly all of them on Kickstarter, I know.
Kickstarter was having a good month, yeah.
157 of the 181, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these numbers are hard to argue with. 157 Kickstarter, 17 on Backer Kit. They raised, thick end of 7.7 million? Yes, that's
7 million, yeah.
Well, I mean, nearly 8, but 7.7. Yeah, so it's a lot of money. Big chunk of change. Accessories did very well. Adventures did very well. Advice did very well. Audiobooks, campaign settings, 15 of those churned out. One platform, apparently. There's some reprints, supplements, systems, and translations, which is pretty cool. That's
The
quite a key
supplements
thing.
is the big one there, 63 supplements, which is over twice the next highest thing, which is Adventures at 30.
Yeah. Adventures and accessories, they're tied at 29, 30 and 29 respectively. Those are big. And you've got campaigns and things, and everything else is trailing along at the bottom. So yeah, supplements, which, can't argue that is my entire output has a TTRPG author under my own label. So makes sense to me. Like lots of different systems. Of the campaigns, about 43% were for D&D 5e, and they raised about 3.5 million, which is 45% of all the money raised in October. They did identify that 50 campaigns, which is about 1 in 4, raised just under 200,000. Yes, which was 2.51% of the money, and of these, so of that 2.5%, what did I say? It's a 29 D&D campaigns, which was 36.25% of all 5e crowdfunding. 50 campaigns used AI, which is about 1 in 4, and they raised 2.5% of the money. So to me, that says that AI is not that big a deal, or it's an anti-sell in cases.
So it's 28%.
Yeah, 28%
of campaigns raised 2.5% of money.
Yeah, and that 28% were using AI, or admitted they used AI.
Yeah. So what do we think that shows? That the backers don't value AI? Is that what that shows? That they don't think it's worth putting much money into? What conclusion could we draw from that?
Well, I'm not like a statistical expert, but if you've got 28% of the total campaigns that are going out there, and only 2.5% of them raise any money, I would expect that these are very low value campaigns, and that several of them were maybe unsuccessful. And that is, I suspect, probably due to the perception that generative AI produces low quality work. Plus, of course, solidarity amongst creatives and so forth, because it turns out the people who create the things that we all love and enjoy tend to be quite influential. And when they're all saying pretty much with one voice, we hate this stuff, it's stealing our work and making us sad, often their fans will listen. But that is entirely inference on my part. I do not know for certain, but I will say that if you've got only 2.5% of your money is related to AI, then you probably don't want to use it. It doesn't seem to be an indicator for success. Whereas if you were doing D&D, then you're looking at about 45% of all the money raised in October. And if you were using AI and D&D, then you have about a third, 36% of the money. So it seems like it's popular amongst 5e designers.
So there's a higher number. So 27 or 28% of campaigns overall used AI, but 36% of D&D 5e campaigns used AI. So the D&D 5e creators were more likely to use AI than the other creators.
It feels like they're.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. That's interesting.
I don't know. I could speculate. There is a belief that I often see espoused online. I don't hold it myself because I don't think it's accurate. But the D&D is regarded as almost a separate, and we're talking like 5e D&D specifically, is regarded as almost as a separate hobby from TTRPGs. I'm not sure I give it that much credence, but
Rai says, could that be because there are way more AI D&D? Yes, that's the same question just we raised. Yes, why? The answer is why are there more AI D&D creators than AI non-D&D creators?
Skill issue, like
I don't know.
Lowers the barrier to entry. Like if you don't have discriminating consumers and they're just buying whatever says, if they're not part of the wider TTRPG sphere, which many people aren't, like we're extremely online. You run a website for the forums, and we're doing TTRPG news, so as people, then you might not know about the problems with AI.
Like in the general public, general public is generally in support of AI, mainly because I don't think the general public really knows that much about it. I think they just think, it's a cool, useful app that I can have on my phone that will do something funky and that sort of thing. And that's basically all it is to them.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, that's it, because that's what they've been sold it as.
Yeah.
And the rest of us who do not have multi-billion dollar advertising campaigns are trying to push back on that. But it's hard because people don't know. And some people just don't care either way. So, yeah.
The other stat on here that I thought was interesting was the geographical stats.
Yes, that was pretty.
So if we look, 87 in the USA, 29 in the UK, 13 in Italy, and presumably lower elsewhere. So they were the top three. So 87 in the USA, 29 in the UK were the ones I wanted to drill into there, because there were basically 2.5 times ish, not even quite that, as many in the USA as in the UK. However, the USA has a population 5 times of the UK. So the UK is overrepresented by about twice as much as it should be if you just went by population numbers. For some reason, the UK is punching above its weight in terms of numbers there, and I wonder why that is.
I think in many ways it's easier to work on TTRPGs in the UK because like it's easier to get a game going, it's easier to do everything because we're not so geographically dispersed. Like this is going to be very unpopular, I know.
But a lot of Americans aren't geographically dispersed. They live in great big enormous cities like New York and Los Angeles and Chicago and Yeah,
but it's like I feel it's like a lot harder for them to like get together. It just seems to be like they have to meet and work online a lot more, whereas like it's much easier to do in-person stuff in the UK. Like I've heard of relatively few TTRPG clubs, like outside. Like they're scattered across the UK, but I don't really come across them. Like people talking about their stuff online. So maybe that's just because I'm not looking in the right places. But it just seems
it's not something I follow. I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems to be like just a little bit harder, or maybe it's based around friendly local game stores. I don't know, but yeah, it's
the US certainly has more game stores. That's a fact. Like proportionally, not just as a flat number, because obviously they're bigger, but proportionally they have a higher density of game stores. So maybe that's what that is. I don't know.
Yeah, and something else we should bear in mind is that we've got like 129 campaigns there with the UK, USA, and Italy, of 181 campaigns total, of which the vast majority, like what was it, 150 odd, were run on Kickstarter. And as we know, Kickstarter actually has a very tight geographical permission system.
True, that's going to skew the stats. Yeah,
it's going to skew the stats towards, if we're going to go all Cold War and matter, quote, first world, unquote, countries, because a lot of poorer countries aren't allowed to be on Kickstarter for whatever reason.
Yeah. Okay, right. I think we're pretty much at the end of the show now. I just want to say the last thing. There isn't going to be an episode next week. We won't be here next week because Jess and I will be going up to Dragon Meet. And if you are at Dragon Meet in London next Saturday, we're going up on the Friday, which is why there's no show. And then setting up, and then the actual event is on the Saturday. If you are in London next Saturday, the 29th, I believe that is, the 29th. Please do pop into Dragon Meet, which is at the XL in London this year.
Don't go to Hammersmith and over the hotel. It's the wrong place.
Do that,
you need to go to the XL, which is
go
in East London. Wrong side.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. So come and say hello. Come and say hi. We'll be glad to see you.
Yeah.
It's only a 1-day thing, so we'll be back by Sunday. But yeah, I always really enjoy Dragon Meet. I find it quite a cozy convention compared to, because UK Games Expo is big and bright and noisy.
Cavernous. It's in the aircraft hangars. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, well, I don't know. I mean, Dragon Meet might feel more like that now at City Excel. I don't know. Because it's apparently about twice the size as it was last year.
Dreadful Wi-Fi, I've heard from people talking about it.
Oh, no. That's so bad for vendors.
I know, right?
Because you need the Wi-Fi for payment systems.
Yeah.
So that's always a problem.
Yeah. It's like, it just seems like a really obvious fix that they could, that would really help out their paying customers, not the vendors.
And the Excel has conventions constantly. You would have thought that would be an ongoing problem every single time.
Yeah, I guess it's we don't really care, because where else you going to hold your convention? The NEC.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so on that note, we won't be here next week, but we will be back. All three of us should be back the week after, in 2 weeks' time. So we'll see you then. We're going to go and have a weekend now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, then. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us. See you in 2 weeks.
All the tabletop role-playing news, we aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG.